Fix the world, Duncan.
I'm working
you're
on
the
it,
king.
man.
You're the king. Fix the world. How do you do it?
How do I fix the world?
Yes.
Well, I mean, obviously, we start paying teachers the amount that we pay doctors, creating a competitive environment.
Even doctors are getting fucked over, man.
Well, okay, so we pay teachers a fuckload of money so that it
Pay 'em
becomes...
what you pay actors.
Yeah, that's it.
Can you imagine that?
That's it. And you have like Academy Awards for the best teachers. So teachers become the celebrities, fucking make it so that it's the most competitive industry to get in. So the people who become teachers are these fucking super genius, brilliant people who start really teaching kids about how incredible and beautiful the universe is. Teach them about fucking Feynman. Teach them how to synthesize LSD. Boom. You do that, man.
That's terrorist behavior as labeled in the Patriot Act, what you just said.
What? Teaching them about Feynman?
No, the other part.
Oh. Well, fuck them, dude.
Hey, everybody. Fuck them, dude.
No, that's the problem, man. You fucking start with the kids, get them educated, get them excited about life, get them to understand that we exist in a beautiful, juicy, vibrant world, and that your brain is an alchemical laboratory which can produce thoughts, which if you put those thoughts into action, can transform your entire planet in the same way that the invention of electricity or the varieties of technologies that have come from the mind have shifted our planet completely and perhaps perpetually. You teach kids that your mind is the laboratory from which every single innovation that has affected your species has come. You share the same brain that Einstein had, Feynman had, Buddha had. You have that computer. Here's different operating systems that you can decide on. You teach them about yoga. You teach them about health. You get them fucking high when they're ready. Initiatory rituals. You bring them into a visceral experience of the beauty of life instead of putting them in little fucking boxes, making them sit at uncomfortable seats and listen to underpaid, angry people. Not all of them. Some teachers don't give a fuck and they're beautiful people, but some of them are not being treated with any kind of respect, and the end result is they're phoning it in. And so that makes kids, when they think about reading or books or math or any of it, they just have this the same reaction you have when you've gotten a tequila hangover and someone offers you tequila, because you've been having this shit pumped into you in the absolute wrong way. We can't educate kids the way we make foie gras, by fucking forcing shit down into their mouths until they're poisoned and sickened by it and hate it because it's coming from angry, bitter people a lot of the times. I can remember certain teachers I had, man. They were fucking pissed, angry shitheads, and it made me hate the information.
Okay, but devil's advocate, when you look at the possibility of computer simulations and you look at the idea that life is some sort of computer program, those people inspired you to not be like them. Those people inspired you with energy and the motivation and will to move past their paradigm and to see the error of their ways. And one of the best ways to see the error of someone's ways is to see someone who's just preaching bullshit, living a miserable life. You see it, and it's almost more powerful sometimes than a positive image and a positive message. Some of the reason why I got motivated to do all the things that I did was because I was raised shitty.
I'll tell you what's motivated me, dude. What's motivated me is running into some really great teachers in my life. You, my friend Emil Amos. This guy is a fucking amazing musician. He's a genius. Different college professors. The professor who convinced me to go to fucking India. Mm-hmm. Really brilliant people.
I agree with that. You've done the same thing to me, as have all of my friends.
Yeah.
But I also think that the people that have tried to stop me and the people that have said shitty things to me, those people they started a fire inside me that I don't know if would have been there if it was just a positive reaction.
No.
I think the yin and the yang is important.
I am certainly not. Clearly, you're never going to get rid of this fucking the negative element, but you can be with people who teach what you just said. What you just said, which is a kind of Nietzschean idea that we need, that part of what we need is a thing to resist. We need a thing to rise above. We need a thing that we can get angry at that motivates us. But that shit can be taught. You can teach that to kids. You can teach that to people. You can show people that You can just bring people these philosophies that have been developed by super geniuses and let the kids pick, let them decide. And you can do it coming from charismatics and coming from performers instead of coming from people who just want to get fucking home.
So there's positive ways to achieve results and there's negative ways to achieve positive results. And the negative reinforcement forces you to rebound and to push away from that and thus create a positive result. But it's also possible to create that positive result with correct nurturing and a real philosophy for life.
Yeah.
A real positive philosophy. So it's almost like we're almost destined to follow a positive. We have several different options for achieving a positive result, including being raised badly, including being raised by someone who doesn't care about you and forces you to be a much more loving and caring parent.
This is a story. This is going to really probably piss off a lot of the audience because it's a Jesus story. But I just read it. Somebody sent me this book of like monks writing essays on the Gospels. And there's this. And when you hear this at first, it's like, come on, that's so fucking stupid. But then when you think about it, it's kind of a cool idea. But there's this story like Christ is walking through the temple with his fucking disciples. And there's a blind man that he heals. And they ask him, why was that man blind? Why was that man born blind? Is it because of his sins or that? Now you have to understand this is coming from a primitive desert philosophy, sins and all that shit. But they're saying, is it because of his karma or is it because his parents' bad karma? They're asking like, what's the reason that this guy is fucked up? And the response is really brilliant. And the response was the guy, and if you take it literally, it's stupid. But the response was he was born blind so that miracle could be worked through him, so that novelty could come into the universe in the moment that he regained his sight. And I think that's a really beautiful fucking idea, which is that your situation, whatever your specific situation happens to be, that is a negative, backed into a corner, dark fucking place, in one way, it's the most awful thing ever. But in another way, there is nothing more fucking beautiful. Like when you have a friend who's like a desperate, horrible fucking alcoholic, whose life has gone to shit, who's broke all the time and is almost dying, and you see him overcome that fucking addiction, and all of a sudden this guy, wherever he goes, to anyone who's an alcoholic, is like a living representation of the fact that you don't have to live like that. That is fucking powerful. So your negative state, whether you're obese, whether you're a drunk, whether you're on heroin, whatever the fucking thing is that you happen to be in because of circumstance or whatever, that has the potential energy. You can convert that into a living teaching so that everyone around you can see that you mastered yourself and rose above the darkness. And the people who are in that dark place, they'll be inspired by that 1,000,000 times more than reading the Bhagavad Gita 1,000 times or seeing something written down, because you're the living example of the fact that life, human life, and the human individual's life can radically transform for the positive if you focus and if you, there's some luck in there too. But so the point is, these negative situations, they're given to us as I don't want to say given, but they're an opportunity to really show people shit can get better. Because man, when I hear like when you see someone who's a cunt and they're yapping about whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? But their life sucks and they're always in drama and they're in a bad relationship. It's like, what are you talking about? But when you run into an authentically happy person who's utilized principles and transformed their lives, you fucking listen to that, man.
Well, when you run into people that are doing things also, you like feel the need to do things. When you read about someone who's inspirational, you get inspired. We draw energy from other examples, including negative ones. You'll see a fat person who'll motivate you to go to the gym. You'll see some guy in a fucking scooter with his gut hanging over the handlebars, and you'll throw the Twinkie away.
Yeah.
We're capable of taking positives from negatives.
Damn right. We can draw energy from all sources. It doesn't just have to be like inspirational people. Certainly you can the idea is whatever the energy is coming
turn it into positive.
Shift it, turn it, transform it. Be the fucking prism that shifts whatever that energy is into like a beautiful rainbow instead of like a turd.
And even when it is positive, just let it enhance your rainbow.
Yeah.
Let it enhance your beautiful vision of the world and pump it up even further. And you know, that idea, it's something that, like, people can say, oh, you guys talk about that all the time. I really think you have to. I think it's something that's a mantra. I think it's something that needs to be repeated. It's an ethic that needs to be ingrained in our mentalities, and that's why I say it all the time. Because I'm also doing it for myself. I want to pump my own version of it up in my own head. I'm not immune to negative feelings and thoughts. I'm just a very diligent watcher. I'm a very diligent guard of my consciousness. So when I repeat positive things, it's not that I'm trying to convince myself. It's I'm reinforcing these positive traits in my own mind and in the mind of other people. And, you know, it may be a bit repetitive sometimes and get a bit redundant, but I think we need it. I really do. I think you need it yourself. I think I need it. I think society needs it.
Yeah.
And I think it's missing. It's missing from all of our entertainment. It's missing from Anderson Cooper CNN reports. It's missing from the fucking news of all the shit of the day and the hurricane devastation. There's missing a broadcast from the collective consciousness, a broadcast from the culture of the world that we can slowly but surely, despite all the news and evidence to the contrary, slowly but surely all move towards a more positive state.
This thing you're talking about is what I think of as the river and the forest effect. Have you ever been walking in a forest and suddenly you become aware of the sound of the river? It's been there the whole time, but if you don't, it's such a subtle sound that blends in with the wind and the sound, but all of a sudden you hear that light trickling of water running over rocks. Yeah. That's what you're talking about. It's a kind of like metaphysical river that runs through everything, and it's very subtle, and it's very easy to forget that it's there.
And we got to figure out how to get it to the ATF. We've got to figure out how to get it to these fucking crazy assholes. The same people that brought you the Fast and the Furious trying to lock you up for having a rifle and a fucking medical marijuana license. We got to get this to the same people that run the federal bank that want to pretend there's some fucking crazy debt that we have to pay off. To who? To what?
Yes.
Where's that money? What does it even mean? What does your money represent?
Yes.
You fucking crazy assholes with your numbers and your fucking the scroll underneath when you're watching the news and that stock market scroll goes under, you're like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
The fuck are you doing? We have to fix it.
Well, first, fucking hear it yourself. That's the first goddamn step.
Fix the people, goddammit. Fix the conscious, and then get to the point where the consciousness has evolved so much that it's ridiculous to everyone, including the people that are in charge.
Yeah, and this is another thing we always say, but just talking about this reminds me of it, man. It's so easy to forget this shit, and it's so easy to like go out into the world and like everything's goddamn like rubbing you the wrong way. Everything's like can seem so fucking terrible, but then when you realize like, no, you don't have to be a victim. You can either get rolled by the wave of phenomena or you can surf on the fucking top of it. And when you remember that, then suddenly when you go out into the world, the asshole you run into at the fucking gym, the shitty waiter, whatever the cunt in traffic, these things become little packets of energy that you can use to enhance your existence and to grow. But god damn, it's easy to forget. And it's easier to let them to be rolled. Mm-hmm. It's easier to be angry. It's a form of laziness.
Yeah, we're in intellectual laziness and physical laziness. That's one of the things. Look, in order to have a sound body, you have to have a sound mind. It sounds like a cliche, but it's fucking true. You got to eat healthy, you got to drink a lot of water, and you got to get some fucking exercise in.
Yes.
If you don't get some exercise in, your body's going to betray you. Your body's going to lie to you. It's going to give you stress that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's going to send you signals that you have to deal with. You need to keep your fucking machine healthy. Your vehicle for traveling through this dimension is your body. Keep that bitch healthy. See
Yoga.
that? See this shit? This is water. I drink a liter of this every couple hours.